y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Confessions of an Autism Mom. I am Amanda, and basically, I talk all things autism, unfiltered and raw. So, today, this is my first video, like official video. I did an introductory video, but hey, I kind of wanted to break the ice so you all can get to know my personality a little bit and just to kind of see what we'll be talking about on this channel. So on social media platforms for like the past 2 or 3 weeks, it's been a challenge going on called We Listen and We Don't Judge, which I really like this challenge because I feel like for a change, people are actually telling the truth and being their authentic selves. Don't y'all think so? Yeah, I think so. We're supposed to be reading it and listening to them talk about it and not judge, but I think at some point we're side eyeing a few people because we're like, why and WTF? So, yeah, I want to do it for autism moms and just things that I don't like to be judged for. And I don't say it out loud, but I do think it. I actually say it to like my other friends that have autistic kids because I know they'll completely understand me. So, what we're going to do is we're going to listen and not judge. So the first one is I put myself first. I put my self-care and everything first. I know it sounds kind of selfish, but in reality, I have to put myself first because I have to be mentally prepared for whatever's going to happen, whatever my son is going to do, because we all know that one day they may be okay, and then the next day it's another story. So I always do my self-care and do things by myself or with friends because I need to be mentally prepared. And we are listening and not judging. I give my son unlimited screen time. If his tablet, well, we have 2 tablets. So once one dies, we give him the other. This is like his comfort zone. This is how I soothe him. It's a moment for me to relax, cook, clean, do whatever I need to do. So yeah, he can have all the unlimited screen time. I know a lot of people say we shouldn't be giving them the tablet because that's not normal, but in actuality, I don't have a normal child. So, I have to do what works for him, and his tablet does it so he can have unlimited screen time, all he wants. We listen and we don't judge. I don't force my son to do anything that he doesn't want to do. Like, I try to apply the skills from the ABA Center at home, but I just feel like he's so worn out, and I get videos all the time knowing that he knows how to do it, but also I see him do it unwillingly and without me asking throughout the house. So I'm like, yeah, why am I forcing him to do anything? And I just feel like with autistic kids, like they do things when they feel like it. And eventually he's going to do everything when he feels like it. And I'm not going to force him because home is like a place to relax. Like, I don't bring work home, so I'm definitely not making him bring something home that he does all day. So we listen and we don't judge. On a more serious note, I was never ashamed of my son's diagnosis, but I went through a stage of mom guilt. And I was like, why me? Because I was trying to figure out why my baby had to get autism. But once I learned more about it, I kind of got out of that. I did go through a depression stage. So, yeah, it was hard for a while. We listen and we don't judge because y'all judging. And I know y'all about to judge me for this. I like ABA therapy. It doesn't matter if I'm on TikTok or if I'm on Threads. I always get called a child abuser because my child goes to ABA therapy. I don't have an issue with ABA therapy. It actually helps. I don't want my child to go to daycare because we had the worst experience at daycare. I've seen on Threads where they have had open conversations, and they say the person that made the gay conversion camps is the same person that came up with the ABA therapy, which I'm going to do more research on that so I can let you all know because I thought it was a very interesting topic. But for the most part, I feel like people should understand that it has been researched so much that things have changed and it has gotten better. And also, you can communicate with the BCBA and the RBTs and basically let them know what you want your child to do and what you don't want them to do, because I'm very big on not as much reinforcement, because he has to do it. So why am I giving him a treat for something, that he has to do? And so far it has worked very well without reinforcement. So, hey, we listen and we don't judge. Another thing about ABA therapy, y'all really be pissing me off, the parents that tell people do not take their kids to ABA therapy. Just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean that it's not going to work for somebody else in their family. Because some things we can't teach them, and it's some things they're not going to grow into unless a professional helps. And that's what we have to understand. Like, every child doesn't need ABA therapy. My child does. He's very impulsive, and if I would have listened to people in those Facebook groups, I would like be in a really bad place, because I would have listened to them and not to my child to ABA therapy. So I think it's very important that instead of telling people don't do it because of your experience, actually encourage them and tell them to fill it out for themselves. And it's not child abuse. We listen and we don't judge. My baby stems. I don't mind him stemming as long as he's not harming anybody, but I let him stem. Like, if you're aggravated, go home. If we're in a public, like it's a public place, he's going to be loud. People are loud, and that's just what it is. We listen and we don't judge. Another thing for me, I get really overstimulated at times from like touching, because I have a toucher and he requires a lot of hugs, which I don't mind giving him hugs. Like, I love giving him hugs and squeezes, but it's just some days he's just like really touchy feely and it overstimulates my whole life. Okay. We listen and we don't judge. And before y'all judge me with what I'm about to say, I know it's some moms out there feel this. I also get overstimulated from like noises. Like, I don't mind my son vocal stimming, but the thing is, it gets to a point where it's extremely loud. And like when other people come over and like play with him, like it just gets really loud and I get overstimulated. I really hate it. Like, it just gets really loud and I hate anything loud. I don't even like the TV loud anymore. Like, don't turn the TV up. Like, I don't know. It's very overstimulated. We listen and we don't judge. Um, Vaccines. I am a believer that autism is kicked off by vaccines. And the reason I say this is because I waited before I got my son his vaccines, and he still, developed autism. So for me, I don't know if it's like triggering to the genes, but what I do know is after the vaccine, it triggered something and my son stopped talking. And that's all I have. And I know people that say like they may have given one of their child the vaccines and they had behavioral issues, but the other child didn't because they didn't give them the vaccine. So yeah, I'm a true believer that vaccines cause autism, and we listen and we don't judge. I get upset a lot when people say my son doesn't look like he's autistic, because it's like, what do they look like? And then somebody told me on Threads one time, they were like, they do have a look. And I'm like, what is the look? Because you'll never know. Like, you just never know. And I'm like, do you look at people per profession and say, oh, you don't look like a lawyer, or you don't look like a doctor, or you don't look like a teacher? Like, what do these people look like? So I really hate when you want to crash out so bad, because it's actually insulting. Like, because don't try to make me or my son feel better, because I actually like embrace him and his autism. So yeah, we listen and we don't judge. I don't like the opinions of others. I don't like it from atypical people. I don't like it from parents that have kids on the spectrum, I just really don't like it. And the reason being is because an atypical parent cannot tell me what to do with my child that's on the spectrum. And another autistic parent, you can suggest things, but I don't want your unsolicited opinion. Only because it's a spectrum, and just what works for your child may not work for mine. And it's like I just don't want to hear it. Like, it's annoying enough trying to figure out like my child, the things he likes, what's going to help him, yet along a parent trying to give me advice. It's like with toys, sensory toys, for example. I know like my son doesn't like toys, period. Like, I got rid of all his toys. We listen and we don't judge because he doesn't play with them. But then I have another friend, she has the son on the spectrum. He plays with toys, and I have another friend, my baby likes to swing. Her son doesn't like to swing or jump, but those are the two things. So I don't really like people's opinions because it may or may not work, and then people get offended. And lastly, with my we listen and we don't judge, it's hard. Being a parent of a child on the spectrum is like really, really hard. I think sometimes people think that we're being extra or we're just saying it because like it's coming out more and more, and people don't see all of the things that we deal with at home. Like, they see us with our kids like for 15 minutes, maybe to an hour, and that's like the common part. But we have to like deregulate them, help them regulate their attitudes. Oh, that's another thing. Regulate their attitudes and their emotions. Go to therapy all day, every day. I know, like for us, we have 4 different therapy sessions on different, well, 4 different in all. And then we also go to ABA therapy, and that's a lot on us. So it's hard. Sometimes I want to quit, but I know I can't. And it's just a really hard life at times. And I wish people were more understanding versus judgmental, or just like, oh, you're oversensitive about this. No, I'm stressed out. I got a lot going on with my child, and I'm stressed. I'm tired. I can't even think straight. Another thing, we listen and we don't judge. This is my last one, I promise. Regulating my child's emotions and trying to regulate mine has been like the biggest challenge of autism for me. Like, I'm trying to calm somebody down and teach them how to regulate their emotions, and mine are thrown off. Yeah. So that's another hard part of autism, like just regulating everything on a daily basis, or trying to figure out what's wrong, because not all the time the same thing is irritating them or bothering them, and it's like figuring it out to a nonverbal child. So comment below and let me know what are some of your we listen but you don't want people to judge you about, because people are very judgmental, and I'm probably going to get judged, but it is what it is. That's just, these are my feelings of what I think all the time, and you all are supposed to be listening and not judging me. So put in the comments what you all think, and I just want to know if you like what I said. But thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you turn on the notification button. That way you can see when I upload new videos on a regular. See y'all next time.